I hesitated for a hot second to not buy the 4A and wait for the 4A 5G. But I bought the 4A because the $350 price point was just so cheap. For what it offered, I just felt like I needed to get the phone. I felt like it was such a bang for the buck buy, and a phone that I could probably easily recommend to a lot of people. But but I can understand why people are waiting for the Pixel 4a 5G or the Pixel 5. The Pixel 4a 5G and the Pixel 5 will be getting the Snapdragon 765G processor chipset, whatever. I think the G chipset. I'm not sure now, but the 765 regardless, which is a faster processor, a faster chipset than the chipset that's going in the Pixel 4a, the Snapdragon 730. So I get that people might want to wait and pay the extra $150. So the Pixel 4a 5G will probably be selling at $500 versus the current $350 price point for the Pixel 4a. My question with the Pixel 4a 5G is this extra $150 just for the chipset? Or is it just to replace the 730 for the 765? I don't know if it's worth that extra $150, but I'm pretty sure the Pixel 4a 5G is going to come with more than just an upgraded chipset. I think it'll probably have a bigger display. It'll probably have a bigger battery to include, the bigger display. And obviously it's going to have 5G since it's going to have the Snapdragon 765 chipset. But and so if those are the three things that come with it, I can probably justify the extra $150. Probably justify it. I feel like they need to add one more thing to kind of like really make it worthwhile for that $150. Or I could just be greedy at this point. I'm being selfish and I'm asking for more than I really should. But there's also the assumption that the Pixel 4a 5G might come with an additional lens in the back. So not just its already excellent camera, but it might come with a telephoto lens, or it might come with the ultra wide lens that people have been waiting for. The rumor is that the Pixel 5 might price out at $700. $700 is a lot of money for a Snapdragon 765 chipset. This is the price that the LG Velvet is going for. And like, that is way too much, especially if you think about a phone like the OnePlus Nord that is selling in India with the same 765 chipset that's selling for $379. Yes, the specs will probably be different from a Nord to a Velvet to a Pixel 5, but the fact that all three of them have the same exact chipset and have such a varying price, $379 versus $700, that's a lot of money to justify that in between, right? And so if the Pixel 4a 5G prices at $500 and the Pixel 5 prices at $700, that's a $200 price difference with the exact same chipset in there. What is going to differentiate the Pixel 5? What is that extra $200 on the Pixel 5? What are they going to be adding in there that's going to be worth it to you? If the Pixel 4a 5G and the Pixel 5 both had the exact same display size, and let's say they had the exact same battery and the exact same chipset, all those are the same. Now, let's imagine what they would have to add on the Pixel 5 to make it worth it. They're probably going to up the refresh rate on the display. Maybe the Pixel 5 will be 120 hertz refresh rate. They're going to add IP68 dust and water resistance. Okay. They're going to add wireless charging, and then they're going to upgrade the material. So it won't be plastic. It'll be metal, like higher end glass. They're going to get rid of the headphone jack. And then that's it. Because that's not enough. And I say that with respect to the fact that the Pixel 5 is supposed to be an upgrade to the Pixel 4. It's supposed to be an upgrade to the 4A and the 4A 5G, and not just in terms of IP68 dust and water resistance, and not in terms of a higher refresh rate. What I'm trying to get at, and this is something I've talked about a lot now, is they need to up their performance when it comes to the camera. If they are not going to go ahead and upgrade the processor in there, They got to make the camera better than before. The camera has to be a lot better than the Pixel 4. And I don't want to just, I'm not saying just like a step up, just a little bit better, something that they've added for software that can probably be applied to past Pixels. They need to like add new hardware sensors or add new hardware sensors to it, upgraded hardware sensors, include the great AI that comes with it. But like the camera really needs to kill it. The Pixel 4 is still a great camera. But what I'm trying to say is the Pixel 5 needs to like really go above and beyond and have a killer camera that will once again put the Pixel 5 at the very top echelon of camera quality when it comes to phones. And can we get a fix on the video? I understand that the video is already good on the Pixel 4, but why is it so far behind from iPhone video? Why do we have to have a conversation every single year about the video quality on the Pixel phones? Do you guys remember my camera comparisons or my video camera comparisons when it came to the Pixel 3 and how awful the audio was? I think that was a software thing that they never really corrected, but the Pixel 4 was able to at least get that right. But the video still isn't as good. It's still not as like flowy or buttery or whatever word you want to use that describes the quality of video on a Pixel or on an iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro, and even maybe an iPhone SE compared to the video quality on a Pixel 4. They need to get that part correct. If they can, if anything, if the photos are just about the same as a Pixel 4 and maybe just like a hair better on the Pixel 5, but they fix the video for the Pixel 5, I could live with that. I could maybe live with that. I don't know if it's still worth the $700, but maybe I could live with that. When I have somebody, like, let's say I have family asks me for my opinion when it comes to phones all the time. When they ask me, what phone should I get? Camera's really important to me. And then I have to ask, like, well, do you take a lot of photos? Usually the answer is yes. Well, do you want photos that are good at night? Answer is usually yes. Do you want your phone to take good video? Usually the answer is yeah. Usually the answer is yes, is what I'm trying to say. What do you think I'm going to say? Do you think I'm going to offer the Pixel 4 at $800, or do you think I'm going to offer the iPhone 11 at $700? I mean, now there's at least the 4A that I can recommend for people who don't want to spend a ton of money. And yeah, it might not have as good video. Team Verizon says, Jerome, the Pixel video quality is ... man dividing at most. I did a travel video using the 3A on my channel, so there's some samples. There you go. I mean, for you to even like kind of hesitate, and that's a really good question. Or that's kind of a thing that I'm pointing out, Team Verizon. Like your wife has an iPhone, right? If you had the option, if you had both phones in your pocket at this point, and like you had to pull out the 3A, or you had to pull out, I don't know, your iPhone SE or whatever, like, which one would you pull out for video? If you knew you had to record video, would you be pulling out your 3A? Actually, I don't even know what the video is like on the 3A. Is the audio just as bad on the 3A as it was on the Pixel 3, or did they fix that on the 3A? I'm assuming they fixed it. But would you pull out your 3A, or would you pull out your 3A, or would you pull out an iPhone SE to take video? I'm not saying that the Pixel 3A or the Pixel 4 wouldn't get the job done, because it probably would, and it would probably be fine. But if you knew that one phone did it better, which phone would it be? Which phone would you be pulling out? Y says, is there a better 12 megapixel sensor than the IMX 363? Here's the thing. I don't know if there is. Why? I really don't know if there's a better 12 megapixel sensor than that one. But then what they need to do is they need to move past 12 megapixels. They need to see what else is out there and then apply that AI to whatever higher megapixel they have for cameras. I just think Google can do better. They can do better. If they can't do better in the photo department, let's fix the video. I will give that as a counter, or as a consolation. Honestly, it shouldn't even be a consolation. Google should just get the video right. Google should get their video right at this point. I feel like now this is my new thing to be on a pedestal, on a soapbox on. How have we not been complaining about this? I complained about it for a long time with the Pixel 3 when the audio was so bad. I complained about it for so long. Maybe because they fixed the audio on the Pixel 4 that I was not critical enough then. But I will be now.